My name is Cristina Duncan. I am a registered nurse. I am the Executive Vice President of Clinical Operations for Travel Nurses, Inc. and OR Nurses Nationwide. Oh, okay. I knew at the age of 14, I volunteered at a local hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, as a Red Cross volunteer. And I spent the summer in the hospital doing various tasks, and so from about that age, at 14, I fell in love with the profession and knew that that's what I wanted to do. So fast forward a few more years, my senior year of high school, my father had a heart attack and was hospitalized in CVICU, and the experience that my mother and I had while he was in the hospital, just interacting with that intensive care unit nurse and seeing the way that she, cared for my father and supported my mother and I and our family going through that difficult time. I looked at her and she inspired me, and I just knew that that's what I wanted to do, is to be a critical care nurse. So that's how I chose my specialty. Absolutely. So when my mother, of course, bragging that, oh, my daughter is going to be a nurse, and, bragging on her daughter, as mothers do, when she told my father's nurse that that's what I was choosing, and of course my mother asked, do you have any advice for her? And she said, yes. She said, the best advice that I can give you is that you would treat every patient as if they were a family member, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, aunt, uncle, and so on. Treat them with the same care that you would want your family treated with. Then you will succeed as a nurse. Well, so in the early 90s, it was really starting to be a very popular thing. I worked at our level 1 trauma center here I was a trauma ICU nurse, intensive care unit nurse, and we had a lot of travelers that were coming in and staffing a hospital, and just would come in and they would tell stories about their adventures and the places that they had gone, and the things that they were able to see. And so it kind of spiked an interest in me, I guess. But I was a single mother, and I had a 5-year-old son at the time, so I didn't think it was anything that I would be capable of doing at the time. But I decided that I would jump in all 4 feet, or all fours, and I would just jump in and take a chance. So I researched, decided where would be a really cool place to spend the summer and to go take a travel assignment, and I chose Colorado. And so I took a 13-week assignment in the middle of the summer in beautiful Colorado, and I packed up my son and away we went. And I took a assignment as a pediatric ICU nurse. After going there and experiencing the beautiful state of Colorado, I decided, which I think a lot of travel nurses get to do once they go around and they get to visit different areas in the United States, that they can find some place that they would like to relocate and call home, and that's what I did. So I ended up making Colorado my home for 8 years. My current role as a nurse leader has been able to really let me mentor and work alongside our clinicians on a daily basis. I get to support them, advocate for them. I get to hopefully inspire them, with old nurse stories from, the earlier days in our nursing career. Also get to do is come alongside our recruitment staff, our sales team, our marketing team, to give them some insight on what it's like to be a clinician in healthcare. And I think what it does is it really gives them a a good idea of what it's like to be a nurse on a day-to-day basis. When you've done it, and you've done it for a long time, it's very important. Sometimes our recruiters are able to speak to our nurses with a really good, clear knowledge of their specialties, of what they're going through every day, what they're experiencing out in the field. I think it's very important to have a leadership team that is able to provide that kind of insight to our sales team and our recruitment. I think nurse leadership is important because it gives us an opportunity to empower our clinicians. I think we can use the opportunity to come alongside them, to educate them, to support them, to mentor them. When you're a travel nurse, you're out there alone a lot of times, and I think what we're able to do is provide them with that opportunity to know that they're not alone, and that's huge in the travel industry for healthcare, that when you're not the staff nurse, you know that you have a company that truly supports you and, you know, shows you on a day-to-day basis that we've got your back. I think the future is exciting. I think it's exciting for nursing in general, and even more exciting for travel nursing. I think we at Travel Nurses Inc. have embodied what the true adventure of travel nursing was meant to be. I think we have found a way to make it fun in a way that you can experience it no matter where you are, at what season of life, whether or not you're a new nurse, in the middle of your professional career, or in the season to where, you know, your children have left home and it's, you know, it's your time to go and see the world. I think it's a very exciting place to be. I think we have learned that there's nothing that you can't do as a travel nurse, and to me that's very exciting.
Thank you for talking with us, Cristina.
You're very welcome.
Say goodbye to the audience.
Yes, goodbye.